everyone, this is Aniko, and it's the first Friday of the month, which means it's time to go through the December Humble Bundle Monthly. So let's begin. I'm going to start by looking at the games and savings that Humble Monthly subscribers received this month. The games in this month's pack include The Escapist, including all DLC for the game, for Windows, OS X, and Linux, as well as a DRM-free copy available. Mordheim City of the Damned, for Windows. Hacknet, for Windows, OS X, and Linux, as well as a DRM-free copy. Western Press, for Windows and OS X. The Flame in the Flood, for Windows and OS X. Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen, for Windows. And this month's debut title is Minion Masters, for Windows, for an actual value of $153.89, and a total savings of $141.89. Assuming you manage to buy all these games at the lowest prices ever on Steam, the total cost would be $69.51, which means this bundle saved purchasers about $57. Also in this bundle, subscribers received the Humble original game, Yojin Brawl, which is for Windows. And lastly, the charity benefiting from this month's bundle is Save the Children. So, how does this month's pack compare against prior packs? Just looking at the numbers, this pack's value is right in the middle of my $40 to $70 savings average that I've predicted based on past monthly bundles. And considering the last few months have been low enough for me to reconsider that range, that's good to see. Still, we haven't seen any packs with savings higher than the 50s for some time now, so I'll give Humble another month before I decide whether or not to change my estimate. One major contributor that helped the savings on this bundle is the fact that Minion Masters, as a Humble debut title, has a rather hefty price tag on it. It's on sale for its release day at $15.99. If not for that title, this pack would have had a similar monetary value to previous packs that have been in the low to middling $40 range. Again, this month, without counting the Humble original game, this pack brings us 7 total games to play over the next month, so no changes there. Now, on to the actual contents of the bundle. The oldest game this month is The Escapist, which has been available for almost 2 years. The newest game in this group, excepting the Humble debut title, is Western Press, which came out 8 months ago. All the other titles range between 8 months and to about a year and a half old. So let's take a look at the game genres represented in this month's pack. First up, we have The Escapist, which is a pixel graphic strategy and simulation game that revolves around living and hopefully escaping from prison. Mordheim City of the Damned is the video game adaptation of the classic tabletop game set in Warhammer's Empire City, Mordheim by Game Workshop. It is a tactical, turn-based role-playing game in which you lead a warband. Hacknet is a terminal-based hacking simulator in which you follow the instructions of a recently deceased hacker whose death might not have been an accident. Western Press is a multiplayer American Wild West-themed pixel-style typing or button mashing, depending on your choice of keyboard or controller, dueling game. The Flame in the Flood is a graphically artistic roguelike adventure and survival game in which you travel down a procedurally generated river. Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen is an open-world role-playing game which feels a bit like Skyrim and a bit like Dark Souls, but different from both. Finally, Minion Masters is an early access online PvP game where you pit your minion against other, minions. As for my personal opinion, this month has some odd games in it. For example, I had never heard of Western Press before, at all. When I looked it up, I noticed that at the moment Western Press has a total of 36 reviews after being out for 8 months, which means it's been flying way below the radar if it's any good. I guess including it in this bundle is one way to get reviews and exposure. I was also kind of surprised to see Mordheim in the bundle, not because it's a bad game, but because on my path to look at the bundle this afternoon, I noticed that next month's early unlock is yet another game set in the Warhammer universe, and that one is Vermintide. Yes, Vermintide plus all of its DLC is the early unlock for January. It's a completely different game from Mordheim. They're even completely different gaming genres, but they're both set in the Warhammer IP. So I hope you guys like Warhammer. Now, I did have Escapist on my wish list, and I like Dragon's Dogma so far. I'd also been eyeing Mordheim since I like tactical role-playing games, and yes, I actually have played the Warhammer tabletop game it's based on, so those titles are definite wins for me, which makes this a pretty good month. I'll probably also like Hacknet, and The Flame and the Flood has some pretty amazing artwork, so we'll see if the gameplay is as nice as the aesthetics. Western Press, I don't know, so few reviews that kind of worries me. It could be really hit or miss, and I'm not sure about Minion Masters either. So at first glance, without trying them, those two are probably the worst games in this particular bundle for me, but it's hard to say. I'll be trying all of them out over the coming month in my First Impression series, so if you want more details on a specific game, you can keep your eyes open for a video about it. Before I wrap up, next month's early unlock title is, of course, Vermintide. I just talked about it. Vermintide is a co-op action combat game set in the Warhammer universe, and it's you and your team versus vermin. Yes, rats. Seriously, that's what you will be fighting. It has 79% positive reviews on Steam, and its lowest price thus far was $14.99 without the DLC. So if the game interests you, then that particular title alone is worth the monthly subscription fee. But if you're not into slaughtering rats with your friends, then this one might be a pass for you. As always, thanks for watching, and I will be back the first Friday of January with the next video in this particular series. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, maybe follow me on Twitter, and I hope to see you next time.